And welcome back. It's still Women's Wealth, brought to you by CM Trading. And it's time for our everyday exchange conversation. And I'm thrilled to have you with us today because we're going to delve into a captivating topic, one that resonates with our mission and our guest's remarkable journey from corporate to entrepreneurship, navigating success in the financial sector. In an era marked by rapid technological advancements and shifting paradigms, from the journey being a corporate person, corporate career, all the way into entrepreneurship, it's a testament to the indomitable spirit of individuals like you. And you are daring to challenge conventions and embrace uncertainties of this business world. Now, today we're going to explore this exhilarating transition and hopefully unravel some of the unique dynamics that are helping to forge a path to success, especially in the financial sector. We're joined by Ola Oladele. She is an accomplished financial expert, a CFA Charterholder, and a passionate advocate for financial wellness. Having spent years in the corporate world, she ventured into the realm of entrepreneurship, founding a financial wellness company that's making waves across communities. I can't wait to start this conversation. Why? Because Ola's journey from her beginnings as a BSc accounting graduate to her role in the financial industry titans, and finally her inspiring entrepreneurial endeavors showcases her unwavering commitment to this vision. Her financial wellness company, olaoladele.com, stands as a beacon of hope, addressing an urgent need for financial education and empowerment with initiatives like the Money Wit Club, the Money Wit Show. She is providing invaluable insights that inspire individuals to take control of their financial destinies. Well, it's time for us to give a warm Women's Wealth welcome to Ola Oladele.
Thank you for having me, Titi.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Look at that bright smile. I don't know. It's your outfit is golden, and we have a lot of gold in the studio, I have to say. So you're looking extremely elegant and wealthy.
Thank you.
All right. So now this journey is one that not a lot of women have been able to succeed at. There must have been a pivotal moment where you made that choice, made that decision to make the change in your career. Talk to us about that.
Yes, so I started my career in 2008, and I was in financial services. I was a trader.
Okay.
I managed the balance sheet of a bank, and then at a point I became a broker. But I think I hit the 14-year mark, and it was like, I've done everything.
Okay.
I've done everything that could be done. In the last organization I worked in, I had risen and was part of the executive management, and next thing was to be on one board or the other.
Okay.
Right? And I had done everything, right? So it just got to a point where, what do I want to do next? And before that, I had been in a conversation with a friend who was talking about, how to manage her money, how to do this and how to do that. And she reminded me that sometime in 2013-ish, I used to blog on personal finance.
Okay.
And she was like, you used to do that before, like, come and help me. And I'm like, okay. I just gave her a few answers, and she was like, this thing you are saying that seems so easy to you, it is not normal. I'm like, there are lots of people doing it.
Wow.
There's no need, like, there's nothing happening there. She was like, no, Ola, what you're saying, we need to start off,
Wow.
And then somehow or the other, she started a YouTube channel, and then I was inspired, okay, let me just share on YouTube. And amazingly, someone reached out to me and said, okay, I need to put my finances in order. How much would you charge? And I'm like,
wow,
what's happening here?
Okay. So you could make money from this.
Yes, so I could make money from it. And so I was still working then. And I started doing that. I started having sessions. I would obviously post stuff on YouTube, and I started building my client base and stuff. And then later, at some point, it was clear that, okay, there's something here. Yeah. Right? And then I started the Money Wit Club. I think the Money Wit Club was the thing that made me realize how pervasive, because the people in the club were people who, the people in the club are people that are doing very well in their careers, but you just realize that the most basic money questions
they couldn't answer.
Wow. And so it wasn't about how well you were doing in your career, it was that there was a particular skill that you needed to learn, and I'm here for it.
All right. I have to say, finding out that there's a gap and trying to fill it It's what you hear in every business class, every masterclass, oh, find a space, try and make sure you're providing or educating or helping someone, fulfill their journey. But there must have been some challenges along the way because you are used to a corporate structure. You're used to the office politics, having to drag and, do the boardroom thing. What were the challenges you encountered making that transition?
Before I answer your question, I would say that my journey of my career before pivoting sort of empowered me for this. So I started off in a structured organization, standard operating manuals, processes and stuff. And then I moved to what I would almost term a startup. So when I joined my last organization, we were 10, including driver and admin. 10.
Okay.
And then we grew to a point where when I left, we had 70 staff. Right. Goodness. So we had gone through that whole, everything is everywhere, to a point where we now start having structures. We can now have an auditor, audit the books, going through that whole process. So in starting my own company, I had seen it before. It was just about the things I had done for someone, let me now do for myself.
Okay.
Right. So what are the challenges that you normally face? Of course, selling, getting clients on board, just creating that process around that and making it sustainable, right? Staff, you have people that come with their ideas of what work should be, and you know your standard. Just even telling people that they should document what they do. Some people don't get it.
It's a problem.
Some people don't get why,
Why you're supposed to save it in different folders. Structure things. So you can actually just find the information later.
When you need it, and some little things like, okay, I don't want to always have to call you when I need this information.
Okay.
Just put it where we've agreed so that I can go myself. But no, I want to be important. Call me every time you need it.
Goodness.
But those teething issues, but because I had seen these things, it wasn't a burden. It was just, okay, how do we navigate? Is this person really who we want to have in the organization? Or is this person trainable? And deciding on that and keeping moving.
Yeah, I appreciate each and every one of those steps. But the thing is, it does feel like when it comes to the money aspect, you're receiving a salary every month plus bonuses, probably plus car and accommodation. I'm just saying, you're probably in one of those kind of companies before. And then suddenly, you're not making decisions based on that huge amount that, I'm going to use the term huge now, that amount of inflow that was coming every month anymore. So that is one of the fears many people have. You just don't know what the future might hold, the unknowns. So let's talk about that. How are you able to manage that?
I would say that the advantage I have is the fact that I'm talking about financial wellness.
Okay.
So let's say I use myself as the example of how things should be done. How when you are working, as your pay increases, your expenses shouldn't increase along with it.
Okay.
How you save and then how you invest. And you invest in different things such that you have a backup and you're not under duress, you are not a slave to your organization.
Sure.
So I think I'm an example of what I preach, such that I gave myself 1 year.
Okay.
So when you start a business, you don't expect that everybody you pitch to will pay for what you might not even be pricing right.
Wow.
And you will not know until you enter the field, right? So I gave myself a year. I have enough to fund myself in a year.
Okay.
I made sure that, okay, we paid the bills, stock up the house, everything that could be a burden was paid ahead before I even left my 9 to 5.
Wow.
Such that I was just chilling. So even if I make a pitch to a company and they say no, I'm not thinking, oh my God,
how am I going to survive? What's next?
Yes, what's next?
Okay.
So I had that, right? And with that, I was able to think broader. I was able to say no to things that, do you get? I was able to position myself better. Okay. I had capital for some things that, some things in business that you need to put money in first and then you now start seeing the reward. I was able to do those kind of things. But it's because when I was working, I was intentional about building wealth. I was taking my salary as a seed, capital.
Okay. So now there's someone right now still in the corporate space, having a great time, but has aspirations for, going out on their own. What sort of advice do you have for them? What sort of structure do you believe they should put in place before they make that move? Now, this is not someone being chased out of that space. This person is very comfortable, but they just want to build something for themselves?
You need money.
Oh, wow.
You need money. Let's
Okay.
not lie to ourselves. Like, you actually need money. There are different ways to it. Some people, you would need to actually save. You need to have a capital base that you can live comfortably with and not drop on your lifestyle while you are starting your business. But for some, you might actually be able to raise capital depending on the type of business, such that you can start off with, at least you can get a salary. It might not be what you were earning before, but something is coming in.
Okay.
So if you know you are not going to be able to find capital, or you are not positioned enough for people to actually see that, okay, this person can do this and I'll give the person money, then be like every other normal person. You need to save.
Wow.
You need to have cash.
Okay. So it does feel like we're sort of restricting this transitional movement from corporate to entrepreneurship to those who can, in quote, afford it. There are some who maybe they've been trying to save. They've probably gathered some capital. It's still not enough, but they want to just make that move. Are we saying that if you are below a particular financial status, you shouldn't make that move?
No, I'm not saying that. Remember that I didn't even resign before I started. I had already started. I had gotten to a point where if I could give more time to this, I could see that it would grow bigger and grow faster, right? I always recommend starting small. Everything looks good on paper until you put it out on the field and people actually pay and pay what you ask for. Then you know that you have something on hand that can work. So
establish that while you're still in paid employ. Okay.
And start small.
All right.
There's something, some people just want, I want to do agric, but I want 100 million farm.
Wow.
Why?
Okay.
When you have something at the back of your house that you can understand how chickens behave,
okay,
you can understand the dynamics of it in a small scale. So in whatever scale that you can afford, start while you're working. Right. It would make you have some sleepless nights. It would make you work at the weekends. You would have to do some extra things that your colleagues will not be under such duress for, but you need to fight for it.
Okay. All right. I have to say, it's one of those decisions that you see a lot of men taking.
Yes.
A lot easier than the average woman.
Yes.
The average woman is thinking, you know what, man, my kids, they need new school bags, school shoes, school fees are coming. What if we wanted to cook bokoto this weekend? I don't know. They're thinking about things like that.
Right.
So I guess some are of the school of thought that, men sort of have it easier making this transition from corporate to entrepreneurship. First of all, do you think that's true? And if yes, why do you think it's so challenging for women to do so?
I think it's true because men they have more time on their hands. Okay. So you both come back from work, right? The woman enters the kitchen, she's doing all sorts. The man is on the phone or in front of the TV, he has time, he has some downtime to think, right? Or he can get back home, change, and go out to hang out with friends, right? So there's more flexibility. The woman is thinking, I have my kids, am I going to be going out at 9 p.m? It can't work, right? And those networking, all those little
opportunities,
things, right? They build up so that it's actually easier because they are able to see something fantastic quickly and jump on it, right? But for women, that it's harder, right? But what do I think is the solution? I think the first thing is setting goals for yourself. Okay. When you have something that you have set as something that I want to achieve, you begin to start thinking about ways. It might not be the same path as going out at 9 p.m. in the evening, right? But even your network in church, your network, your neighbors, your mind begins to think about how you can make it happen. But if you've not set any goals, you're just going to be comfortable.
True.
And I mean, society pushes men to need to have more money because it's understood that, okay, if there's a school fees to be paid, the husband is supposed to be paying it. There's just that assumption that whatever you're doing, the husband should be paying. So he's thinking ahead. But because you're a woman, you're not under that pressure. You're probably not. But you find that women that are single mothers tend to be more driven, right? Sure. Because or daughters of single parents, they tend to be more driven. Why? Because they understand the need to be financially independent, right? So if you are not in that space or in that situation, don't wait for that situation to start pushing you. Find your drive, find your goal. Like, if it's that, okay, my husband can take my children to this school, but if I add to it, they can go to a private school here. set your own goals and work towards them.
Fantastic. I feel like there's also this cultural stigma in some cases when women try to aspire to be bigger or better. And also sort of, even when you think of in the home, the man being the head of the home, if for instance, you say, you know what, you want to resign. You want to resign from this really great paying job. Why? You want to make more money? Okay, so is the money I'm making not enough? That becomes the question. This issue of stigma sometimes and cultural limitations. You've probably had discussions about this with some women. Am I right?
Sure, definitely. It's so pervasive. But I think it ties to my statement around start small.
Okay.
When people begin to see the possibility of what you have, it becomes an easier conversation.
Okay.
The problem starts when you have a 9 to 5. You have not even done anything significant in that side hustle.
Okay.
For anyone to say, oh wow, you could do more. You are, it's still in your mind, it's still a theory, and you say you want to resign, nobody will follow you.
Okay.
Or it becomes a harder conversation, and you may actually be right.
Wow.
Right? And it might even give you more time for your family. Because when you run your own business, you have more flexibility. You can do school runs, you can do other things, right?
Sure.
But you almost need to show. I think when you show it fixes the conversation for the average sane human being, not the one that would wonder you're making more money than me.
Okay, because those ones are also there.
They're also there.
Yes,
you know, but
we're not here to talk about those.
We're not talking about
today.
that. Let's not go there. Let's come back.
Yes,
let's assume sanity.
Yes.
So in a sane world, the fact that you've shown that, oh, there's more, you can do more, and you have more time for yourself, there's no one that will jump against it.
Amen to that. And hopefully the right people are listening right now. And hopefully even if men are watching and listening right now, they are maybe thinking twice about, limiting the women in their world from making that transition. Hopefully. Some women actually do better as entrepreneurs, than in the corporate world, but they have to get there. But let's talk a little bit about what inspired your establishing olaoladele.com. How did that start?
So I talked about the YouTube and all that, right? But when people started paying me, because of my experience in finance and understanding the place of tax, the government and all that, one of the things I did was that the money didn't come into my account. So I had to, I decided, okay, register a company. Now I wanted to register like a proper company, had a fantastic name and all that, but it just hung in the registration process. So when that hung, I got one lawyer, second lawyer, third lawyer, and there was a system glitch and I got stuck in the middle of it. Okay. I just said, you know what, there's nobody that would do search and find this name anywhere. Okay. Let's call it olaoladele.com.
And that's how it started.
And that's how it started. And that's how I registered that name, right? Now, so what I did, all the one-on-one sessions, all those things, I moved it under that name. Okay. Now, the Money Wit Club, what happened? How did Money Wit Club come about? I had a friend who was apparently in another investment club, and she just called me and I said, Ola, I think based on all that you do, you need an investment club. We need you to set up an investment club. And what was her reason? You've set up so many things, but we feel I can't do it on my own because I feel like I'm on my own, right? I'm not sure that what I'm doing is actually what you are saying. Right? I need someone to just walk me through the steps. Okay. Right? And of course, you can't do one-on-one for everyone. The easiest thing to do is to have a community where even sometimes when you are not talking, someone else is saying, oh, I've done this and it worked. Right? And that's how it started. So I said, okay, let me have a community of like 20 people. Let me do like a beta version. Let's see if it would work. And I did the beta version and it worked. Okay. And the feedback was good. And I'm like, okay, open it up to people. If it's something that you need, let's have you on board. All
right. So this is a club, but I need to understand exactly what you call financial wellness in general, because that's what the club is about. That's what olaoladele.com is about. Financial wellness. We need to define what that actually means.
Financial wellness is when you are in a position that money is not your problem. Okay. Money is not keeping you bound in a place where you shouldn't be or you don't want to be. Okay. I gave the scenario of I had saved. So when it was time to leave, when I was tired and I was done, I could say, okay, let me leave and let me see how it will be for a year. Okay. Right? Some people are earning well, but stuck in jobs that they know they should leave. And they don't have time to apply to other jobs because everything about them is pulled into that job. If you could resign In 3 months, you get another job.
Wow.
But you don't have the guts to resign because your financial situation is not put together.
Okay.
Right? That's financial wellness. Another situation is, okay, you have a family, you're doing very well, right? And then you don't realize that, okay, one day you leave this earth, right? And your children need to be in a place where they can benefit from the work that you've done,
Sure.
right? Putting your children, your family in that position where they are financially secure. That is financial wellness, and we see it. So every time you see that oil prices are going up, or fuel price or exchange rate is going up, some people, their heartbeat is like gish gish.
Yeah.
Some people are like, don't worry, even though it's not good, but don't worry.
Well, all right.
Financial wellness is that don't worry person.
Okay, all right. And I have a feeling that club of yours, a lot more people are, having lower heart rates now, just because of the advice that you share in that club. We need to even chat about that. I think I need to join that club.
You're welcome.
I think I do. And of course, we'll also have space for other, people who've been able to go through that journey to come talk on the show as well. It'll be really great to hear from people who've taken that transition into financial wellness. But it's amazing to have you here.
Thank you.
Good luck with olaoladele.com.
Thank you.
And to all the women out there who are on their journeys, on their financial literacy journeys. That's why we are here, right here on Women's Wealth. Initiatives like the Money Wit Club, like olaoladele.com and Women's Wealth are here to make sure that you take that step towards financial wellness. All right then, thank you once again for joining us.
Thank you, Titi. Well done.
Oh, thank you. There's still so much more coming your way right here on Women's Wealth. Stay with us. It's time for us to find out what's happening in the markets. Are the markets in the green or in the red? Let's find out from Dr. Fred.
So to open up an account at CM Trading, all you need is $100. However, keep in mind that it's just like starting a business. So it has to be something more than $100 and make it meaningful, because that will increase your chance of succeeding in your trading. Now, keep in mind, there are very low cost or almost no cost really involved in trading the financial markets. There is zero commission, and only to facilitate the trade, you are charged the spread. Otherwise, there's really no cost, besides an internet line and a computer or a mobile phone, which generally most people have anyway. So trading the financial markets is really relatively a very low cost endeavor to get into.
We've come to the end of this episode of Women's Wealth. Follow us on our social media platforms at Women's Wealth on TV. My name once again is Titilayo Oyinsan. Bye for now.